Pleasant evening. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, 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 welcome. Please confirm you can hear me with a thumbs up in the chat box. Okay, good. Okay, I see good evening. Thank you so much. It's really great to be here. Start of another cohort. Your first class was yesterday. I trust you had a beautiful introduction and you're looking forward to today's class. Okay. My name is Adeshola. I will be your moderator for today's class. And I see that our facilitator is already in. So wherever you are, ensure that you get your course mates, your cohort mates to please come in. At the Electoral College, we do not waste time and we keep to our word. Okay. We'll give you 5 minutes to settle in. Okay. So please nudge your fellow classmates, your cohort mates to please come in. And at 5 minutes exact, I will start reading the bio of our facilitator so that we can get in to today's class. Today we'll be discussing about an arm of government, the executive. I'm sure we all have some basic knowledge, but today we will expound, our facilitator will expound all of this to our hearing today. We have slides prepared, and if you have gotten that beforehand, you must have taken some time to view that. This session will run for about an hour, 30 minutes, after which if you have comments, questions, or as the facilitator is going about his notes and something jumps at you or something crosses your mind, please note them. After his session, I will call on you to make your comments or ask your questions or make your contributions however you want to do it. You can also place them in the chat box. I will be on the lookout for that, okay? So we are 2 minutes into the hour, 5 p.m. In 3 minutes, I will be back to run through our facilitator's introduction and bio, and then we will dive straight into the learnings for today. Thank you and great evening once again. I'll see you shortly. Okay. Good evening and welcome once again. I see that the group is fast filling up. Thank you very much for nudging your classmates and cohort mates to come in. As I mentioned earlier, my name is Adeshola. I will be your moderator for tonight's class or this evening's class. And today's topic is focused on the executive. I'd like to welcome you and thank you for taking the plunge to be active citizens and to learn a bit more about politics and governance at the Electoral College. I'll go straight into introducing our facilitator for this evening. Our facilitator, Mr. Kunle Lawal, is a distinguished Nigerian political leader celebrated for his dedication to democratic governance, electoral integrity, and enhancing political literacy. With his extensive experience and commitment, Mr. Kunle Lawal has significantly shaped Nigeria's political landscape, inspiring a more informed and active citizenry. His professional roles and contributions are listed below. As the Executive Director of the Electoral College of Nigeria, Mr. Kunle Lawal leads this non-partisan organization in its mission to strengthen democratic processes through education and advocacy. Under his leadership here at the college, the Electoral College has become an essential platform for promoting political literacy and civic engagement, especially among young Nigerians. Most of us are here today, and it's a pleasure. Through structured modules and debates, Electoral College provides citizens with critical tools to understand governance and hold leaders accountable. In his role as the National Publicity Secretary of the COA Party from 2014 to 2017, Mr. Kunle Lawal championed the intra-party democracy, transparency, and participation. He introduced membership systems that fostered inclusivity within the party, demonstrating his dedication to strengthening Nigeria's political parties as democratic institutions. Great work. Mr. Kunle Lawal also ran for the Senate with the Alliance for New Nigeria (ANN) party from 2017 to 2019, embodying his commitment to public service and his vision for a progressive Nigeria. Walk the talk. Throughout his candidacy, he actively promoted policies focused on the welfare and development of all Nigerians and drafted 49 legislative bills to address critical national issues. His senatorial campaign highlighted his commitment to policy-driven leadership, even as he sought to broaden the national conversation on effective governance. Mr. Kunle is also the author of The Candidate, a book in which he shares his insights on leadership and politics. You can discuss with the admin on how to get that book after your class or in your class groups. Now, through his writing, he offers guidance for aspiring leaders and politically engaged citizens, reinforcing the importance of knowledge in effective governance. And some of the recognitions that have been awarded and accorded to Mr. Kunle Lawal include that with his tireless efforts to advance political literacy, civic participation, and democratic values, it has earned him widespread recognition. His work has also inspired many Nigerians to engage more deeply in the political process, understanding their rights and the responsibilities of their leaders. By fostering political literacy, Mr. Lawal has contributed significantly to a more transparent, accountable, and inclusive political system in Nigeria. And through his many roles, Mr. Kunle demonstrates a profound commitment to building a democratic culture that serves the needs of all Nigerians, empowering citizens to shape our country's future. Now, that is a very committed individual to the growth and to a more informed citizenry in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, if your hands are not too tired, please let's make welcome Mr. Kunle Lawal as he takes us today on the executive. You're very welcome, sir. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Shola, your voice is always interesting to hear. And it's always a joy. You're the voice of the college. It's always, every time I listen to your voice, I'm like, okay, can she continue talking? Why do we have to have Kunle with his, Kermit the Frog voice have to interrupt? And thank you very much, everyone. Welcome to your first class in the college. I know we've met before. Some of you don't like me. Some of you still will like me. Some will be indifferent. But that doesn't matter. What really matters is that you get what we're trying to offer to you at the college. So today's topic will be the executive. Now, most of the time, we've covered quite a large area. There was a PowerPoint placed on your group. I know you guys, some of you might have missed the information, so I don't want anybody asking in the class. And I also like to say hi to Samsung and Techno, who we've already told they should use their real names. So hello, Samsung and Techno. Thanks for forgetting to put your names. Well, at the end of class, with regard to your certificates, do not if we do not have your names listed, I don't think we would have a complaint. You can't tell who Samsung and Techno are. And for those who are iPhone and etc., I only saw Samsung and Techno. For those who are iPhone and so because I don't want to be biased to phones. Um, Good day. And well, let's not without much ado, let's get to the class. So the executive is probably, the part of government that we talk about the most. Now, the executive, of course, reeks of anything that you can think about it. The executive means power because it derives its name from the word execute. And the primary function of the executive always remains to enforce laws, to maintain law and order in the state, to execute governance on behalf of arms of governance. That means legislative and the judiciary. The judiciary's work is to interpret. The legislative's main functions are oversight and making laws, to interpret laws at the judiciary, but the executive is vested with the power to execute these laws. And, most of the time, everybody likes to talk about the executive, like the all-powerful and all-reaching. Yes, in Africa, the executive has done quite a lot. I remember somebody saying yesterday, it seems that governors tend to dictate what happens in the legislative. I'll tell you, for a democracy to work, you must have each arm of government or tier of government understanding its jurisdictions and its limits to function properly. If these do not happen, you're going to have a problem. So the executive in Nigeria looks over bloated. Like I'll tell you, if I threw to this class, your class next week is local government. So if I threw to you that there was a national assembly in the local government, as you state, a legislative house in local government. Most people would be like, wow, we didn't know. And then, that's because you've elected people there who do not understand that their work is making laws for that local government, or etc., depending on how it goes. So hence the power that you see within the executive, it's not because the executive is that powerful. It's because maybe in an executive position, it is easier to execute. So sometimes we kind of give them a lot of power which they do not deserve. And I'll give an example. Sometime some years ago, shortly after the present governor of Oyo State was elected, he sacked his local government chairman. Case was taken to court. And preceding local government chairman winning that, which is not allowed totally by democracy, before he won the case. And I'm sure you're seeing the same thing play out with Adeleke and him trying to force an election. But let's not go into those nitty-gritty. Those are deeper parts. Just for this class out, I want to point this out. A few of us had the opportunity of interfacing with His Excellency Sheyi Makinde. And as knowledgeable as he was, as exposed, and this is not me throwing shit at anybody, but as knowledgeable and as exposed as he believed that there was already a culture of sacking local government chairmen. So he did not understand that he did not have the power to do it. Now, when I say the executive acts the way it does, because people do not understand, that's those even in office. And I'll tell you the truth. Electoral College puts political literacy in Nigeria at 82%, which I feel is quite minimal. I think we need to do another survey to increase that up. But we have placed political illiteracy at 65% for those in elected office. I'm sure a lot of you had sides to take. Senator Natasha Apoti, and Senate President Fabio, you guys had sides to take. A lot of people had sides to take. And where they were, whatever. And I'll tell you how I see it. Both senators, and we're doing this for the purpose of class. So I'll still take in the legislative. Now to the articles which represent the Senate, 11.1 and 11.2 states that 11.1 states that the Senate President dictates or allocates the seat in which every senator sits. 11.2 in the articles of the Senate clearly states that a senator can only speak from an allocated seat. Any other seat you speak from is null and void. The Senate President has the power to end that conversation. I won't tell you who's right and who's wrong. I'm just going to tell you what the law is. It is up to the college to expect that you deduce formally when these laws are given to you. We also expect that you would be able to translate this in the best way possible, or in the most Nigerian way possible. We know you have your biases. Yeah, some of us want to support women. Some of us are from one part of Kogi State, Natasha comes from. Some of us are from Akwa Ibom, want to support this. But that's not the work of that's not the work of the law. The law is just to state jurisdictions of power. So here we are with the executive. What do they do? Enforcement of laws. Now, enforcement of laws is critical to any governing body. Now, these laws are, you have a simple, let's say, security. No, there's defense of the state. Let me not go into security now. So enforcement of laws, taxes, etc. And this is done at the different tiers of government, being at local government level, at state level, and at federal level. Now, it is key to note at this time that the powers that are vested in Mr. President as an executive are the same powers that are vested in a local government chairman. Jurisdictions are the only ones that differ. I will repeat again. The powers vested in Mr. President and the powers vested in local government chairman are exactly almost, okay, let me not say totally the same, almost the same, because they don't have power to do international stuff and take positions or declare war. Okay, let's remove a few of those powers. But basic powers are the same. So enforcement of laws is vested in the executive. Appointment making, which of course we all like. I'm sure a few of us here, whether we like it or not, we've been recipients of executive power, PA to governor, appointments of commissioners, etc., etc. Defense of the state, which is a critical point of executive power. Defense of the state. You see, I'll give you an example. And for me, the joke is always on state governors. Because for me, local government chairmen or chairpersons, I'm yet to even start their own conversation, because the truth is they don't even know what they're doing, in my view. There are a few, but maybe let's say 7 out of 774, which is a critical problem. But governors get away with this. And I'll use an analogy. When it is time for an election or something, or a reporter case in view, Professor Ben Ayade, I don't want to use any recent ones, Professor Ben Ayade of Cross River State. I remember when he imprisoned a journalist, Effiong Nibong Effiong, am I right? I can't remember his name fully. Funny, he's following me on Facebook and I'm following him. Anyway, I can't remember his name clearly. Ben Ayade could use the forces of the state. So let's also remember Governor El Rufai when it came to the case of Audu Mekuri, and he brought in like 40 policemen to arrest Audu Mekuri. Now here's the conversation. How do governors now say they are not in control of the commissioner of police when there's issues in Kaduna South, there's ethnic rivalry, or there is illegal mining? Just look at Zamfara and etc. They're not in control then, but they're in control when they have personal vendettas. Now, I'll tell you, a local government chairman, state governor, and a president are all, according to the Constitution, empowered with defense of state. That's why when we discuss things like state police, I find it a joke. I'm not saying state police shouldn't exist. What I'm saying is that the same powers that are granted state are granted local. And when you watch your American movies, you see the sheriff going to go and get his gun. The sheriff is a local government policeman. We cannot have state police without local government. We are making the same mistake. So it's like you're building a house and then you have the roof and you're not asking for the state police, which is the windows. What the foundation? Missing. But it's interesting because most of the time, like I say, our daddies and mommy geos on social media get us to believe some things and start engaging in some arguments which are totally futile and totally shows absolute ignorance. Now, foreign policy making is vested in the executive, which is vested in the president. This foreign policy decides on how Nigeria decides to see Israel. It depends on how Nigeria decides to see Russia. It decides how it sees Ukraine. Tafawa Balewa in 1963 declared Nigeria was a non-aligned nation. Might have seemed good at the time. I can't force my personal opinions. But coming down to now, I don't think Nigeria can continue to stand non-aligned in the way the world is, especially Nigeria being the gateway for Africa. I always say something. Even if they make a black man president in the US, if Nigeria fails, the entire black race has failed. Nigeria is the most populous black nation in the world, has 5.4% of the world's entire natural resources. Nigeria cannot continue to act the way it does, non-aligned, non-this, that. There must be repercussions to all these things. Now, as we move forward, there are financial functions. Now, this is the table or the WhatsApp group the entire executive dwells on. Financial functions, up and down, allocate 6 billion, buy yachts, buy this one, and they say we should cut our belts to or we should stop spending money anyhow. According to the president, his friend that used to drive Rolls Royce is now driving Toyota or Honda. To him, all of us should cut, but we can't cut it when you are buying. You have 7 private jets. You want one extra. 7 presidential jets. You want one extra. If to say, and this is how to handle as an executive, if to say you now decided that you will sell those 7, make it public, you will sell those 7, then the proceeds from them, you would buy a new one. I don't think anybody will complain. But you go ahead to buy a yacht. There's no water in Abuja. Okay, there's Jabi Lake. Are you going to put a yacht on Jabi Lake? Well, that's a joke. It's Lagosians now. They seem to think that the ocean that they have is the ocean we have in Abuja. I don't know, but depends. Well, then grants of titled honors are also vested in the executive, and those honors could be state, they could be local government, and they could be federal. The MON, CFR, etc. States have their own. I'm not very confident with it. State governors barely use those titled honors. I don't know for what reason. And local government chairmen don't even bother with it. And I feel that if those other lower tiers, that's the state and the local government, they took their times to pay attention to titled honors, I think more people will feel more Nigerian, more green in character, more it will be more encompassing to be Nigeria. Now, I need to define what governance is. And governance is the way and manner power is exercised in management of the country's human, material, and economic resources. Now, we need to understand that there's a difference between governance and politics. Because Nigerians, politics is the roadmap or whatever is entailed in you running one elected office. Governance is a totally different thing. Now, even according to the Electoral Act, politics and governance should not meet at any point. Because I can't remember, I think 92.1 or 92.2 of the Electoral Act, I can't remember the exact, pardon me, I can't remember the exact subsection. But it clearly states that no state media or apparatus can be used in an election in support of any candidate. I repeat, no state apparatus or media can be used in support of any candidate in an election. It's in the Electoral Act. But guess what? Commissioners will brand themselves, this governor or not. The SAs will brand themselves, this governor or not. In short, the governors will put party flag behind their back. My friend again, Governor Sheyi Makinde, and a host of others. That's totally wrong. But because they are sworn to the Constitution of Nigeria and not to the party, the work of the party is just to get to the seat. I'll also tell you at this point, it's a common misnomer for us to say APC state, PDP state, etc. The truth is that there's no APC state or PDP state. They're also under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So PDP could have won that election with guaranteed the state, this thing. But the state is not for APC members, neither is it for PDP, neither is it for Labour, neither is it for SDP or ADC or NMPP or whichever, ABGA, whatever. So governance is the way a man of power is exercised and managed of human and material and economic resources. That's what governance is. Governance is a whole mile away from what politics is. It's a common misnomer. We make this mistakes, but I think it's because we've always drowned or dwelled in such matters. Now, there are two types of executive. There's the elected and there's the appointed. Now, the elected executive are those who have passed through an election, be it at the state level, local government level, or at the federal level. Now, the appointed executive at the federal level, you have DGs, you have DGs, you have executive secretaries, you have ministers, you have secretary to the federal government, you have all electorate, I didn't say. I was talking of appointed. So appointed, yeah, secretary to federal, you have all of them. Then meanwhile, elected, you know those ones, governor, president. Let's discuss the appointed SAs, PAs. Do you understand? This is madly wide. And the last cohort, we had a conversation, and somebody was saying that the number of elected and appointed in Nigeria are quite a lot. If you wait to our 200 million, government is not that large in Nigeria. It's actually small. But because of the redundancy of performance of the executive, it looks like we're running a wide government. We can try that in this class. You know what? Shola, are you there? Okay, Lisa, are you there?
Edie, yes, I'm here. Okay.
Yeah, okay, you guys are there, right?
Yes,
So let's try something. Now, I'll give anybody a chance to speak, just one person. And then the person will approximate the number of people that we have. So we have 51 ministers, am I right? Or 52? 48 to 52, I can't remember. Let's just say 52, highest number. 52 ministers. So Ismail, unmute Ismail so that we approximate how many commissioners and appointed PAs and etc.
Ismail, you can unmute.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I'm not a sir. I'm not knighted by the King of England, so I'm not a sir. But good evening, Ismail.
Yeah, good evening.
So Ismail, we are
Yes,
going
sir.
to use you to approximate the number. So how many commissioners do they have in your state? You can guess, so it doesn't have to be correct. We're just doing this for the class. We have 52
Yes.
ministers as of now.
Okay, we have about 23 commissioners.
Okay, 23. Beautiful.
Yes,
Can we
sir.
multiply that by 36? Is anybody, so some people can be doing this in the class. No, I don't want everybody to give an answer. We're all doing this together. So can we give an approximate? Hello, guys.
Yeah, 23 times 36, you said.
Yeah, yes, it's what?
We have 828.
Can we add 52 to that number, the ministers?
Okay. We have
Wait, so we're not
880.
done yet. Too.
We have 800.
Okay, can you add 774 to that number?
We have 1,654.
Can you add 74 to that number? 74 is governors and deputies.
We have
74. Wait, that's 72. Wait, 72. 72, not 74. Okay, beautiful. We've added that. Can we add now? Nigeria has over 1,500 ministries, departments, and agencies. Can we add 1,500 to that?
Okay, 1,500. We have 3,226.
Okay. Let's say every governor has 30 PAs and SAs. Multiply that. No, 30 times 36.
You said?
Wait. We're just giving a name. 30 times 36. Can somebody do that 30 times 36 and give us the number directly? Just wait. Hold on, Ismail. Can somebody do that 30 times 36 and give us the number?
Senator, I'm having a class session online.
You said what?
1,000.
Hello? 1,080. Okay,
Yes,
can we
please.
add 1,000? Ismail, can we add 1,080 to what you have?
1,080.
Yes, to what you have.
So we have 4,306.
Okay. Can you add just an extra 2,000 for local government chairman? Let's add an extra 2,000. What do you have?
We have 6,306.
Beautiful. Thank you very much. It's 6,306, right?
Yeah,
So
yes,
this is
sir.
beautiful. Now, Ismail, are you shocked that just an approximate number, 6,306, are the people managing 200 million people?
No, I'm not shocked, sir.
Oh, no. So you're not shocked. But
Yes,
it
sir.
looks like we say our government is large. Is it as large as we're thinking?
Well, from my own perception, I can say yes.
No. Why we think it's large is that these other PAs have PAs to PAs and essays to essays and etc. But if you're talking
Yes.
about functionality as those guaranteed by the Constitution and etc., as numbers guaranteed by the Constitution and etc., our government is not large for 200 million people. That's the truth. But the redundancy and the mismanagement of resources have made it seem like they are large or too much. It's because they are not doing anything. If they were actually doing what they were supposed to do. Thank you very much, Ismail, for participating in this. Thank you so much. Okay, so we continue. So Nigerian government is not as large as we project it is. And then, so how do we achieve a functional executive in Nigeria? First thing we need to understand is separation of powers. As long as legislative are jumping into executive powers, executive are jumping into legislative powers, we cannot have a functional government. We the citizens, the onus is on us to say a governor cannot do this or a governor cannot do that. This is if your state chooses to keep quiet, you should not keep quiet. And that's how I see it. Because I think basically we spoil our executive, and that's what we've done in Nigeria constantly. We Sekai Milokon. I don't know how to say it in Igbo. Oh yeah, let me use an Igbo slang that I know. Judge Kwese, go ask about me, or the executive to is a man, is an Nze, big boy. You understand? And we cannot continue like that. So these powers must be separated, and these powers must operate within their jurisdiction. Another thing that's key is decentralization of power. Now, there's been a massive concentration on the center, and not because the center chose it to be that way. The biggest problem is that we, the citizens ourselves, and this is not me blaming, it's Nigerians generally, we're all guilty of it, citizen or whatever, we're all Nigerians. The decentralization of power stems from our culture to centralize power. So we need to decentralize the power in Nigeria. Everything we ask for is the president. Now, does anyone here in this class know that there is no local government in Nigeria that earns less than 200 million naira a month in FAC allocation? This is minus the local government's IGR. And when you come to a place as large as Amuodofin, you have 1.8 billion per month in FAC allocation alone. Now, most people are not conversant with such fact. Etiosa earns like 900 and something in 969, I think, in FAC allocation, and earns over 2 billion in IGR. That means Etiosa has about 3 billion. AMAC earns about close to 1 billion a month in FAC allocation. And we all know that it's the minister and the president doing everything in Abuja. What is AMAC chairman doing? Close to 1 billion naira per month. I didn't say a year. Please note, per month. But we'll still ask the president when our things are dirty, when there's a refuse hasn't been taken out. We still ask our president on basic things which are totally not even his concern. Now, we even have the conversations of state roads and federal roads, which should not even come up because every local government is supposed to take care of the road within its jurisdiction to be overseen by the state, to be overseen by the federal. But we've created a culture of what isn't, and we've grown to dwell. So the problem in Nigeria is not that the laws state a particular thing, it's that we've created a culture of practice of democracy outside the given laws and jurisdictions of the Constitution and acted with it. Now, a functional executive must also be able to be held to accountability by the legislature. If not, you have a dictatorship. The rule of law should also be in effect because of citizens that are within that jurisdiction. And then what's most key by an executive is the ability to plan. Not our Nigerian Vision 2020. I remember when I was young, and okay, I've just thrown away my age, but no problem. But I remember when I was young, and everybody was talking about Vision 2010, Vision 2010, Vision 2010. It started sometime in the late 90s, Vision 2010, Vision 2010. Nigeria will be a big country. Nigeria will be this, Nigeria will be that. When did he say 2006 reach? More, our guys just take style at just level, just say Vision 2020. 2020 has passed with like 5 years now. I wonder which vision we're going to have now. Because right now, Nigeria is more than a vision. We need eyeglasses. And I don't know, we might even need a telescope at this rate. But we don't plan. And therein lies the bane of most of Nigeria's problems. And whether you like it or not, that's what affects us the most. Now, to enhance a functional executive, there first has to be participation. Everybody needs to participate, not political parties, not party faithfuls. Every Nigerian needs to participate. There needs to be accountability in budgeting and planning. Now, most people, they invite you for budget reading, whatever. We don't care. Want to change electoral laws? We don't care. But you go to Twitter and go and be giving hot takes. Go and give your hot takes where the National Assembly has invited you. We don't go there. We don't do these things. Third, we need to, and we need this more than anything else. A legislator at House of Rep level takes about 36 million per month. A senator takes about 48 million. 36, 48, yeah, 48 million about a month. We need to get the right legislators in so that they will be financially unattractive offices. Fourth, there to be freedom of speech. I always talk of this. There's freedom of speech, but the freedom of speech should never be limited. It's limited, sorry. The freedom of speech is limited to your own freedom of speech, infringing on the freedoms of others. I'll give an example. Yesterday during the class, somebody made a statement about the Constitution and disparity between poor and rich. And I called him up and I said, you know what? Tell us where. He went on a case with MC Oluomo and etc. Constitution, MC Oluomo, jurisprudence and Constitution. How they take relates now. No problem. Oga, Constitution, he couldn't mention it. And when I kept drawing him back, because, as Nigerians, maybe he didn't comprehend the question, because I think one of the biggest problems is comprehension in Nigeria. But he said there was disparity. How does the Constitution make it rich or poor? And I feel we're in a class, we're trying to learn. And he kept trying to force his opinion. I had no other option than to take a decisive action, not because of what he said, but because he was laughing and he thought it was a joke. Now, you ever wondered how political illiteracy spreads? It is when somebody tells you MI6 is chasing him. Or let me use the word they use properly. M16 is chasing him, which is a gun, no? It's a turbine gun. M16 is chasing him. And everybody gathers and believes. You say this, everybody will jump into and argue. And in the end, if a lot of us keep quiet about it, it becomes a trend. And when it becomes a trend, it becomes a monster. Yes, I'm here to teach you how to think or see things, but I'm also here to ensure that a lot of people's characters are kept in check. Because I know the average Nigerian. Anyway, that aside. 5, understanding by the electorate of office, jurisdiction, and powers. Now, this for me is more critical, which is why we even do the work we're doing. It's more critical than anything else. For me, I think this is the strongest part. If the electorate can just get it, nobody will come and campaign and lie to you again. Nobody will use money to run for office. You guys need to get it. We need to get it. Not only for the purpose of Queen Lawal or the electoral college, no, for the future generation. I always tell people I have two godfathers, Nigerian constitution and the next generation. Until we get to that point and start thinking that way, Nigeria will never become the nation which it has the potential to be. But that aside the boat, the executive is clearly, beyond reasonable doubt, the steering rudder of any governance, and its operation signals development or degradation. And what we've done with our executive, I don't need to answer that question for you. So thank you, 17th cohort. I didn't want this class to be long. My classes are not usually long. And it doesn't mean that other people won't have long classes. But thank you everyone for this. And thank you for the time you spent to sit down with this class. So it took like 40 minutes or 35 minutes. 45 minutes to do this. And for engaging, let's ask questions. Let's both get to learn from each other. Don't come with a dictative path. We don't know everything. But when you're coming with something, please let us know from where you got it, from how you got it, and where you are relating it from. Don't come with something whatever that boy's name is and bring it here. Don't come with something so already said. Don't come with, please. I'm not ready to hear those kind of things. They're totally injurious to what we're trying to do. They are totally off the charts of what we're trying to do here. So I'll entertain questions now and I'm open for questions. Thank you, everyone. I mean, that was the executive.
Okay. Thank you so much, Edie. We'll take questions now. If you have questions, please just indicate. But okay, I see. Oh, okay, about 8 hands. Just hold on. Let me see. Okay, let me start with Juliet Obiagiri. I've asked you to unmute, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Juliet
Good evening.
Obiagiri, and I'm joining this call
Good evening,
from Imo. Yeah, my question is this. In the course of this class, Mr. Lawal did say that the executive, as in the governor, does not have the right to suspend the local government chairman. And my question is this. In a case where this happens, because it does happen in our climate, what can be done or what can the electorate do to revert the scenario? Is there anything possible to be done to revert the scenario?
No. So Juliet, in the cases that has occurred in Nigeria, and that was why I used, if you notice in my conversation, I used Oyo State, for example. And that was because the Supreme Court challenged it and reinstated the local government. Now, the same case is happening in Osun, and the governor is even making a bigger mistake by planning an election. And he has conducted an election. The Supreme Court is going to, I don't know, but if they follow the laws as it's supposed to follow, they follow the Constitution as it is, it will be reverted and everything thrown back. And it's like a president suspending a governor. Do you think that's possible? It's not. So what gives the impetus or the power to a governor to think he can suspend a local government chairman? Remember that in the conversation, I stated something clearly. And I said, we have created a culture in politics which is not tenable, and it's not what the Constitution says. We have just acted within it and then started to give it life, and now it has become a monster. Juliet, you understand what I'm saying? It has become a monster, and now it looks like a regular occurrence. Yes, it looks like a regular occurrence, but it is totally wrong by all ramifications, and it can only be done because the people do not know, and even the local government chairmen who are elected do not know.
Okay, sir, but there's something Okay.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. You were saying something.
Okay, there is something I need to say before I go. Is like a recommendation to this on how we can handle this monster that all of these things has degenerated to, and that is this. I sincerely think that there should be a law stipulating a timeline for a governor to run a local government election, beyond which he cannot. Because I think it is absolutely wrong for a governor to come up with an election few weeks or barely or few months before his exit. And by doing that, he finally puts in his men across all the local governments to begin to disrupt the incoming person. I think it is wrong, and I think there should be a legislation to that effect. If not, we'll still be where we are, that when a governor comes in, a pronouncement is made and they begin to go in and out of courts. Sincerely, this is my take and what I recommend for it.
Juliet, I think what you said is absolutely brilliant, Juliet. But Juliet, I'll tell you that I'm on an opposing side, and I have even acted, and there's a recommendation right now in the National Assembly. I'm not supposed to say this here. You know what the hell? Let me just say it. So I was called in with local government autonomy, and a few of my recommendations are the reason we presently have governors not kidnapping FARC, though that's still a war. And one of the recommendations I put forward was to return local government elections back to INEC. Now, there's a reason why. And this is critical. I feel that local government participation elections is down to 7% in Nigeria. Sometimes below 7%. 7% is the highest. So let's just say 7% or lower. And right now, Juliet, are you with me?
I'm
Right
here,
now,
sir.
Juliet. Okay, right now, Juliet, with the kind of monies that are coming in and FARC allocation, I don't think those elections should be vested. And I also want people to participate more. So why not take local government elections, jam it with presidential elections? Put the local government with presidential elections. People will be forced to vote. Their participation will increase. People will care about it more. And state governors will have no control. So if local government is running on a circle in which the same normal elections are running, you cannot now open your mouth and start saying, you're going to do your local government election, like the case of Osun, 1 week because they've taken power from you, now putting your local government chairman to causing problem for another governor. Do you understand what I'm saying? And that's a recommendation that is in the National Assembly as we speak. And that I will say I'm guilty of that. I'm very guilty of that. And it's because I'm seeing the bigger picture. I'm not saying what you said isn't right, but because I know how Nigerians are with laws. So the best thing is to even shoot two birds with one stone. Get people to participate more in local government elections, which makes it more important, and that's take it back to normal elections, normal election days, like with governor and president. And then secondly, take the election from state governors and hand it back to INEC. It will burden INEC, but it's better than the mayhem that we have as local government election.
Right, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Juliet. That was quite a beautiful question. We have about 20 hands up. So what I'm going to ask that we do is to please keep the questions as direct as possible, please, in 30 seconds or a minute so that we can wrap up pretty quickly. Emmanuel Eze, I see your hand. I've asked you to unmute, please.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening, Edie.
Good evening.
It's been very insightful. Your lecture has been very insightful. Speaking from the point of experience, I mentioned, in my introduction yesterday, I mentioned that I've been an SA to a House of Assembly member, and I realized the level of illiteracy, political illiteracy in our society, including those people that have been elected into
no, don't say including. I think you should say. I think you should say especially those. Don't say
I think especially those. In the course of my appointment in a state assembly, I came in thinking that some things are in place. I simply requested to see the library, the assembly library, where as an SA, I'm expected to research and come up with things. They laughed at me, everybody, including the speaker.
I'm like, you can't say I'm laughing at you.
I know, I understand your point. I understand your stand. So how do we, anyway, I think maybe you should find a way. Polytracy should find a way. Polytracy should find a way, maybe to organize programs for elected officials. Because
I'll tell you something.
At the way we are not going far. Maybe through this program, some of us may begin to find our ways to go to offices. But for most of the people there, they don't even know their left from their right. They don't even know where their job starts. Not to talk of the electorates themselves. The electorates are completely.
You know what? You know what's funny?
Yeah.
So
No,
here's the
not.
funniest thing. You go to a state house of assembly, and nobody has read the constitution. Nobody.
You
How
are
can they
even going
function?
far by
No, constitution
talking
is
of
even too big.
yes,
It's
constitution
too
is
big.
too big.
Constitution is too
It
big.
is the person understanding his
No.
own role, why he is even there.
I've taken them on trainings, a few, across Nigeria, Cross River, Lagos. I've addressed Lagos local government chairman. They don't even know their functions. Okay, the problem. You can see my eyes now. Can you see them? I don't sleep. This Nigerian political literacy problem is bigger than me.
It is.
But
It
me, it
is.
seems I don't like hearing word. No, couldn't
But
know
you
the
are
hear
doing
word.
that.
So,
The bit you are doing is a
but
lot.
what? Yeah, it is. So I don't sleep. I don't rest. I'm interfacing constantly with multiple states. I'm interfacing with political parties. We're trying to break in. But the truth is, Nigeria itself, not Nigeria, not I'll not say Nigeria. Nigerians themselves don't even want to know better. I can
Yeah.
tell you. What state are you from, sir?
I'm from Enugu State. As we speak,
I know.
I don't think my state House of Assembly has sat up to 3 times this year.
Have they even passed the
They,
law?
they only sit at the instance of the governor.
And that is abnormal. First and foremost,
Very, very,
you know
very, very.
the electorate will extradite itself from this. You know, I keep saying it. Nigerians know how to transfer or mortgage responsibility. Now is it Brian Babangida we are blaming for all our problems? 93 has happened a long time ago. I'm not saying it didn't exist. Some people still blame Ojukwu and go
Abacha.
on. Some go as far. No, you are even doing Abacha. That one is close. Some go as far as blaming Lord Lugard, who died before Nigeria's oil boom. They are still blaming the man. I don't understand. Face your problems. First and foremost, Nigerians will say it is, let's say you're from Enugu State now. Nigerians will say it is these people's turn. And they will vote in non-entity and expect the guy to help them. How? Number one, when the
I
guy was
wonder.
campaigning, and now because I've seen things from all ends. Bros, when your guy was campaigning, did you follow him? I'll tell you what I
Yeah.
saw. While campaigning, there are people that will not listen to you. If you do not bring, now what's
Money.
necessary.
Yeah.
You know what's necessary. I went to see, and I don't want to mention his name. What I beg you should go and sit down. Me, I don't send anybody. Okay, this guy, the bomb bomb of
Just.
No, not no, no, Gong. His name is not Gong Gong. It's close to Gong Gong, like Gong Gong, but the title is something. Anyway,
Yeah.
the Serki of Kuje in Abuja,
Okay.
and he pointed out to me. He's a very intelligent guy, schooled in Britain, whatever. But he pointed out to me and said, Senator Philip Saduda, then Senator, because I ran in 2019, he brought car. This one brought car. He now asked me, "You, what are you
What
bringing?"
did you
And I
bring?
said, "I don't have any,"
What
and
did
I
you
said, "I don't
bring?
have anything to bring." He now said. He now said, even our roads. I said, my job is not roads. I said, but I can bring in laws that would end. I was discussing matters with him. I've been chased out of somewhere I went to campaign because I said I couldn't give them lights. It's not like the other senators before me gave them light too. I was just the only one that told them that it's not my work. They chased me out of that place. And I'm not joking. And this is Nigeria. These are the Nigerians you are dealing with. So Nigeria is not a problem. It's Nigerians that are the problem.
Nigerians.
And
Nigerians are the problem.
they will still prefer. I had a conversation with, a friend of mine who's related to the present governor of Edo State. And me and him went back to back and blasted each other. And he's comfortable because his uncle, this is a very intelligent guy. But because the governor is his uncle, he's comfortable with the poor power of performance. And I'm not. And most people will think maybe because of the way Kunle Lawal talks, Kunle Lawal does not have access to. I do. I have access to state governors. But here's the conversation. The reason why I'm not rich is that me, I'll tell you as it be. If you like vessel, if you like don't vessel, if you like go and hang yourself, if you like don't go and hang yourself, that's not my business. And I think that's why I'm not a rich man. But like you rightly pointed out, when you said library in State House of Art, you saw me laughing. You before you even said they were laughing, I was already laughing at you. I was like, where is this one coming from? Where do you think you are? And therein lies the problem. But ask us about those elections, state assembly elections, and ask the people here whether they participated. They voted, Labour. I don't even know who is in Labour. Labour, put on Labour. Hey, the other ones, APC, PDP. How can you vote like that?
Sentiments.
We are
Emotional
below par.
sentiments.
If it's not party, it is where the person is from. And you know
Mhm.
what even makes me laugh with Nigerians, bros? And this is the most irritating thing. A Nigerian will celebrate a Nigerian that has become a legislator in Poland. Poland has no black guy originally. A Nigerian became legislator there. You people will celebrate. Hey, Niger, you do one bed there. You go America, legislator, mayor. You people will dance around. Ordinary for Igbo. Notice I'm not even going to use a different tribe. Ordinary for Igbo from Ebonyi to take State House of Assembly in Anambra, even though he was born in Anambra, bros. You can answer that question well. I won't give the answer to that question. Are we not interested?
The problem plenty, but make we continue
No,
with class.
maybe we'll continue with class because we'll continue at half. so let's continue. Thank you very much. And of
Thank you,
course,
sir.
great talking to you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel. You will pardon me, I'm not going by, I'm looking through, I'm trying to be gender sensitive. So if I see any lady, I would also call next. Akachuku Markfred Ijoma, are you a female? If you are, please, I've asked you to unmute.
Okay. Can you hear me?
You're a man. Okay.
Yes, I'm a guy. I'm a man. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for to the ED for the enlightenment. I've been writing, and I've been able to learn a lot from all this that we have been saying. So I have a peculiar question, which I've been finding it a lot more confusing while he was talking, and that is the concept of governance and politics. Most of the times, it seems as if so many of us are not really aware or have not really been sensitized properly to differentiate these two terms. Also, while we are also bringing it home, also like in our like individual state and local government. So in my own local government, I was even thinking that okay, you must be an indigene of a local government for you to be able to qualify to contest for like a position. But from the yesterday section and now, I think I've been able to be like enlightened. But, but now, how should we be able to also convince the like electorate, because it seems as if they're not really from that end of maybe from that particular region, it will be like a no-no. So are there some practical steps that the KD can also be able to share of if one wants to double in into that, how best can we be able to sensitize them and convince them to receive that acceptance? Good.
Okay, thank you very much. You gave quite a wide question, even though it seems short. First and foremost, I've always been a proponent of state of residence more than I'm a proponent of state of origin. It was one of the bills I put forward while running for office. And if somebody is going to run somewhere else, like before I ran for Senate in Abuja, I had lived in Abuja for 21 years. I'm not from Abuja. I'm actually from Kwara State. But though I was born and raised in Kaduna State, Zaria is home for me. I don't even like saying I was born and raised in Kaduna State. I'm very proud of Zazzau. It's my home. It's my mother still lives there. It's where I love. I grew up in Zaria. It's home for me. So I believe that if you have that kind of attachment and you've been showing, quite a lot of things, I believe you can run anywhere. The only way I could express or teach people that was by my race in Abuja, and I did finely well, 4th out of 24. It's not bad for someone who was in a so-called obscure party and a young guy at the time. I was not yet 40 at the time. So I feel that we can practice by example. If I'm right, the first mayor of or one of the first preceding mayors of Calabar was Hausa, and the first mayor of Kano was Igbo. And we went like that. I don't know how we became. There's no law in Nigeria, no law in any party, no law in any party anywhere that states you must come from a particular. There's no law like that. Like I said, Nigeria has created a culture of what is a lie and sold it to people as a law. There is nothing stopping any Nigerian from running anywhere. If you think you can win, go ahead. Do you understand? If you think you can win, go ahead. If you think you can't, if you think you're indigent enough, yes, you can. I don't believe in okay, so I have too many bloods inside me to start to say I'm Yoruba. You'll never hear me say I'm Yoruba. There's no even law. It's a somebody wrote it's a sentimental law. No, it's a sentimental custom. It's not a law. There's no law anywhere. Do you understand? So I have too many bloods in me. I'm 25% a lot of things. So I have too many bloods in me for me to open my mouth and say, I am this, I am that, I am this. Because which part of the 25% am I going to disrespect? Why am I going to disregard? And I've lived my life by example. I've put Nigeria first. And I think this is what people can do. If a few of us decide to put Nigeria first, live ourselves by example, and create the Nigerian ideology. I will tell you, everybody says their tribes are marginalized. Do you know who are the most marginalized tribe in Nigeria? People that call themselves and act Nigerian. And that's the truth. Because they will not support your so-called funny ideologies. And I remember, I sat down somewhere and they received an award from me because I refused to say some things that were in support of Southwest. And I didn't feel any remorse. I know that I can go to sleep at night. I know that I always told the truth. And I know that I made a friend that day who apparently was Northern House of Rep at the time. He was at the event. And he was like, he didn't think for somebody who was going to be recipient of an award in an event, will go around and tell the truth about it. And I was like, what did you want me to? And I told him what I fear the most is my son growing up. And then them telling him that his father was a liar, his father was a thief, or his father was this. I fear that more than anything else. That's my fear. So I've always lived my life like my son is my father in front of me, judging me. And I think if you say you're Nigerian, I remember I was on channels one sometime last week, and it was Love for Country, and I had the opportunity to be on channels to discuss Love for Country. And I said most of the people will say, may Nigeria not happen to you, or Nigeria, Shigi, whatever, whatever, whatever. And I said, my own Nigeria happening to me is enjoying what they call it, black soup in Uromi. Ah, that soup. First time I ate it, it washed my stomach. Anybody that's from Edo State will know that. Me and Taushe or Brabusco in Bauchi, me and Taushe, I love it. Once you put more Ishanu inside, you have me. I'm also a fan of, that egusi that you put shakpa inside and red oil. Can you see the versatility? I can switch at any point. I can diversify at any point. But I always say till we walk out of the canoes of ethnicity, we'll never swim in the waters of diversity. And I celebrate the fact that, I try to sell a Nigerian ideology, because once you're Nigerian, it means you don't support anybody. And once you're not supporting anybody, you're in trouble. And that's the main thing. Somebody's saying ED likes enjoyment. All the enjoyment, and I'm not fat. I don't know. I'm trying. It's not working. I think it's one Fulani part in me, or I don't know that it's Canary part, one of them. But um, I'm not fresh. It's Nigeria's problems that are making me. Yeah, you see, when we have this kind of conversation, the 99 Constitution as amended is an enslavement legal document. You see, how to answer this kind of things really, it breaks my heart. And here's the conversation. If I call this person upstage now, two things will happen. One, person made that statement out of an emotional conversation. Secondly, the person made that statement has not read the Constitution. Because I don't know how the 1999 Constitution is enslaving anybody. I don't have a problem if you say it enslaves. Just prove to us it enslaves. If not, do not write it here. If you cannot prove it, do not write it here. Because I've worked with the Constitution at least over the last 10 or 11 years. And I'm responsible for some major adjustments, some major bills that have changed. So what are you talking about? Saying it's enslaving. Enslaving how? You see, Nigerians make comments, and this is what hurts me, and this it breaks my heart. You make comments you can't back. If I tell you to come up here, you cannot repeat, you cannot back that thing. And I know. And next thing, if you can't back it and you start arguing anyhow, and then we take you off the college, it is a dictator. Yes, I'm a benevolent dictator. I do not deny that. But sometimes that's what's needed for the Africans to hear what Kagame clearly states, shows that. But Africans do not hear what. And so to see this in a class, I just hope somewhere along the line you will learn and don't bring your so-called Sore principles here. Do you understand? Those are people that can't even engage me sitting down on a TV station. Why do you bring their thoughts here? Why? I'm not supporting any government. I'm not behind anybody. But let's see things as they are. If you can keep the class that way, you would have a great class. These things that you make, because in the end, I'm going to challenge you. And the next thing you come and face me and you don't have anything to say. Trust me, to face me as regards the constitution, you guys bad. I won't tell you why, but you guys bad. Anyway, let's move to the next question. Let's not get disoriented by funny comments.
Okay. Thank you, Edie. I honestly don't know. Okay. Do you know, I'm going to have to be a bit strict because I had said you should all keep your questions. Please think about the question you want to. If after 30 seconds you're not able to properly communicate the questions, I may have to mute you, please. Please let's keep it as direct as possible. We have so many hands up and we would like to take everyone. Okay? Thank you. Iniobong Sylvester Upo, I've asked you to unmute, please.
Okay, good evening. Thank you very much. My name is Iniobong Sylvester. I just have a comment and not really a question. I think one of the problems we have is the political culture of our political parties. Some political parties don't like working with people who are, in quote, who are intelligent, who know what they want, who are educated. Some political parties like working with people they can actually manipulate, people they can operate to do what they want. So I think if we can have political parties have conversations around training their party members on most of these things, it will help Nigeria go a long way. And another thing is the local government autonomy. The ED talked about the election being done by INEC. I am a proponent of that and I'm in full support of that. So that's my concern and that's my comment on this. Thank you very much.
Wait, Inibon, before you go, I'd have to hold you on a conversation. Inibon, how many political parties have you been in? Shola, Shola,
Yes, Edie.
could you
Okay, I'll
unmute
ask him to
Inibon?
unmute again. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Inibon,
What did
how
you ask?
many political parties have you been in?
I've been into two political parties only.
Will you be able to name, are you free to name them?
No, I'm not afraid. PDP and APC.
Beautiful. I'll tell you, I don't know your experience, do you understand? And I won't undermine your experience. But I joined the political party. I rose from zero to become director of strategy to become national publicity secretary. I rose through hard work. It's not that I didn't face these challenges, though. Let's remember that I joined the political party when a 32-year-old that was walking into a political party meeting for the first day as national publicity secretary. And people who didn't know him because the convention was held in another state. People that did not know me were asking me whether I was PA to the youth leader.
Okay.
And PS, I was younger than the youth leader at the time. No, so it's not that you won't face that, but let me tell you where the problem lies. Do you know that no political party in Nigeria can boast of a 1 million number membership? We're talking about people that pay dues, though. We're not talking about people that just pick card and have never visited the party again. Nobody can claim 1 million members that are paying dues,
That's
including
an
the APC.
established. Yeah.
That is fact.
Yes,
So
it
if
is.
all of us are not in parties, why won't some monkeys win primaries? Why won't some issues happen? But when they are doing GOP in US and they are doing a Republican Party, we are all glued to CNN watching what Trump and what the other lady was going to do, or Biden and co were going to do. We even tolerate statements from Kemi Badenoch, who is just a leader of a party. Okay, yeah. The parliamentary government, so being a leader of a party, puts her in the house to make funny statements. That's Juka, Kemi. But she's able to, what's happening there. Why don't you know what's happening now? I don't believe and mark this, and you can take it to the bank. Nigeria does not have an election. What we have is a selection, and I'll tell you why. It's not because of INEC. It's because we are not in political parties. We are totally abstract from the process that brings out the leaders that we vote for. Did anybody know how
That's true.
Tinubu emerged? Did you know how Peter Obi emerged? Did you know how Atiku emerged? Did you know how the list is endless? Kwankwa, so do you know how any of them emerged? Let's not even talk about how senators emerged. Today, those people are your senators. And you are now complaining that Nigeria is one way. How will it not be one way? Sure, you were drinking, what did they call them? You're drinking this thing in Jos, Pito, in one hidden joint in Jos, when they were doing party primaries. Some other people, they were doing party primaries, they were camping girls inside a hotel in Abuja. This is the result. This is the result. Some other people say, yeah, it's primary is also our business. Let's go to Lakwe and go and chill in Lagos. Well, you guys, so why are you complaining? Why? I always tell people the worst thing NOA or any of the other things have done is tell people that vote, 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 vote. Political participation starts long before voting. Political participation
That's true.
starts the moment people start buying forms. If you are not there to support your candidate, if you're not there to ensure that your candidate exists, nothing is going to happen. And then you can't come out. You have no rights to come out and say, this person they elected. Were you there in the primaries? Did you care? You say, no, you voted. You voted who? Why did you vote the person? You say, because I like the person that was running for president. Oh, that's why you voted a senator. See, this is a country where we cannot even differentiate. In Ebon, we are even from the correct state. You sure it's your brother that is a Senate president?
Senate President.
Abi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Has it not clearly shown that an executive cannot translate to a legislative? Has it not clearly been shown? But people think that governors need to go to the legislative house. Why? Because they were former governors. That is the biggest joke available in Nigerian democracy. So if
So
you want Nigeria to repair,
I think the thing is, people who go into politics fail to understand or to train themselves into a line. Like, there's somebody in my state that I know this person is good, he's just a legislator. Send him to the legislative arm, he will be good. I don't know, and I'm not sure if he will be good as an executive person in government. So I think people should
I want to believe you're talking about. I want to believe you're talking about Luke.
Yes, or not.
Abi?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I knew you were talking about. Did you see immediately Good, no, but good work speaks for itself. Do you understand? I
Yes.
know who he is. And I know they are trying to make him governor because he's good at legislative. It doesn't mean he might be a good governor. Do you
Yeah.
understand? But everybody agrees he's a great legislator. Everybody
true.
agrees. So you see, when people like that, but remember that Luke too took a risk. He entered the game. How many of us take that risk? If not, there wouldn't have been a Luke. If you leave it for your mechanic and these people who attend primaries and collect 100K, we are doomed now. So thank you, Inobong.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay.
All right. Okay, Ojo Simasa. After you, I did open praise. Abiodun, please get ready. So, Ojo.
While the other person is on muting, I need to say this. The reason why the 1999 Constitution is not where it's supposed to be as a clear legal document for Nigeria is because of the lackadaisical attitude of the kind of National Assembly you have elected since time. See, the average house passes at least 400 bills. Nigeria, if you see 60, in short, if you see 100 in 4 years. So that's the problem. How do you expect people that have not read the Constitution to come and amend the Constitution properly? I don't get it. I don't. Because how are they going to do it? People that have never even opened it. These are people, and I'll tell you, I worked on the Electoral Act in 2022. I'll tell you something that's shocking. We put some things inside, you say they can't be delegates again. They signed that part and gave it to the president. Maybe you guys have forgotten. Let me remind you guys what happened in 2022. Then when the president assented to the Electoral Act, that was when they found out that they cannot participate in the primaries. They ran back to the president to go and collect it and say they want to adjust it so that he can assent again. President Buhari refused. This thing was put in front of this house and read to them. Some of them were sleeping, some were not around, regardless. Are those people you are expecting to adjust your constitution? No, now you can Google what I'm saying if you didn't know when it happened. It happened. And this one affected them being taken as no more delegates in the primaries or within it. They did not read it. That is your National Assembly. Now it is them that are going to come and adjust the constitution to where Nigerians want it to be. But you're asking for too much. People that cannot even read when they are removed from a system. Let's be practical. So I'm waiting for the next person. Shola, is Shola there? Lisa, can you help unmute the next person?
Yes.
Shola,
Yes. Okay.
hello?
Christopher Ejiofor. Edie, should I
Oh, who
meet
is speaking?
Christopher Ejiofor?
Oh, okay,
Yes,
Jessica. Yes, go
it's
ahead.
Jessica, but okay.
It doesn't seem to
Hello?
be available. Maybe we'll just move on.
And then move to the next
Next
person now.
person.
We've been waiting. Move to the next person.
In your bong, I've asked you to unmute.
I believe Inobong just asked the question.
Oh, okay. Abubakar Musa Sadiq. You can unmute and ask your question. Abubakar, are you here? Okay, let's move on to Ojo Semasa.
To Ojo, give Ojo. Ojo is already campaigning.
Ojo? Okay, please go ahead.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, we can now.
Yes, we can hear you, Ojo.
All right, thank you very much, ED. This is one of the most interesting webinars that I'm part of.
Now, my question is more of like opinion and also a question at the same time. Now, as a young leader, I belong to NGO like that, youth network, and most time we blame our leaders for doing the wrong thing, following constitution and doing everything upside down. But then, with the young minds, we still do the same thing. And it is so annoying because if you try to correct a young leader to follow the provisions of the constitution of a youth network, they don't listen. And then sometimes they turn you to enemy. And it is the same character that we still carry on to the bigger places. And then you see people like that, when they eventually enter House of Assembly, they still continue doing the wrong thing and abusing the constitution. Now, the question is, how can we address this particular issue, right? I don't know if there's a way to incorporate a kind of enlightenment program, into the media space, TV, radio, to let our people know that speaking in favor of the constitution is no enmity. Not that you hate the person, but because the right thing must be done. Because it is so funny, because if you try to teach them the right thing, try to put them right and then point out the fact, they still see you as enemy and then start blackmailing you, start saying a lot of things. So this is the question. Can we do something to address this particular issue? Thank you.
Wait, what's your name again? Sorry, I missed that. What's your name again, sir?
Ojo Semasa,
Something Ojo.
NNPP. Yeah, Ojo
Yeah,
Semasa.
Ojo.
Yeah,
Ojo,
Semasa.
at this rate, I'm just using myself as an example because I'm the easiest example I can think of. At this rate, how many people do you think dislike me?
Wow, I can't imagine so much.
Bros, it's endless. There are some states they even told me
Yeah.
that Kunde, you shouldn't enter this state because I'm always bringing out things which they don't like. But it doesn't stop me. I'm not an activist. Please, I'm not a Sore or a what's the name of that joker that is looking for Goliath on Twitter, whatever that guy's name is. It's not that I don't know his name. I refuse to give him that privilege. And a list of host of others that end up confusing. But I'm not that kind of person. But the truth is that for people to even stand and hold themselves to the constitution, when you came into this college, you were given a set of rules. Those rules are abiding by everyone, including myself. But here's the conversation. Nigerians don't like rules. Nigerians don't have character, and Nigerians do not keep their words. Before you joined this class, you were told, would you be available weekends 5 to 7 if you choose to? Nobody should write that name that somebody just wrote. I don't even want to think of it. It's the same thing that I think that Portable can have 2.5 million followers and be invited to a Nigerian bar conference. I don't want, please, nobody should educate me. This was my name. That name is enough to confuse me. The name I just saw in chat box. It disorients my mind. So there are a lot of things which are wrong with the country. But the truth is that we have always thought it was from a leadership position. I have always argued that point that preceding the leadership, these people were people. And at that point, they were people. What did they do? If you correct it then, we might not have good leaders now, but going down the line 15, 20 years, we will have good leaders. And that's how I've chosen to fight this fight. And that's how I've chosen to look at it. And our work has been exceptional. The college has graduated over 13,000 as of now. We'll keep doing the work we're doing, and we'll keep effecting the change we're effecting. But what is critical is that Nigerians lack the character. I'll give you an example. So Babangida wrote a book. I've been seeing hot takes up and down. Now you guys might not like what I'm about to say. Hot takes up and down. Babangida this, Southwest that one. Hey, Babangida show FCNA of Nigeria. I'm not saying there aren't problems. And then I'm not supporting Babangida because that's the next thing for Nigeria. The next thing they'll jump to say I'm supporting Babangida because I said this. But do you know what I thought of? I thought of who in my generation, 30 years before the person became president, can work towards becoming president and be in control of leadership, separate themselves to dedicate themselves and that strategy. That's what's tripping me about the book. And let's be honest, that is the truth. Can you name one person that's going to sit down in strategic? I'm not saying somebody that's, when he was running for president, said he's going to legalize Indian hemp. I don't have anything against Indian hemp or whatever, but with Nigeria's problem, I don't think that's the first thing you should say when you're running for president. This is the country where people support presidential candidates and they do not even know the presidential candidate's position on infant mortality. They don't know the candidate's position on education. There, you build more schools. They check his antecedents. There were more schools. What nonsense. What arrant nonsense. Now, we need to clearly choose to be a country. People haven't chosen that. People have chosen to be Yoruba. They've chosen to be. There's something good about everybody. The Yorubas gave us one bear. The Hausas gave us kaftan and slippers. I'm sure the Abuja boys know that. And wood perfumes. No offense to Amoya, but I'm just trying to joke about it. The Igbos taught us a stingy men association how to spend our money. Yes, wants to eat the money equal to crankshaft. Wrong. That's a joke. I'm just making it fun of major tribe. But the truth is, we've not sat down to say we choose to be Nigeria. We choose and act that way. So I think that's why we break most laws. We also don't think strategically enough. Like I brought up Bangida's book, everybody will expect Kuni Lawal will abuse me. I don't have anything to say. My own is so guys that were 20-something thought of a country and thought of how to run the country and they pulled it. So these guys thinking. You know, that and for me, that's strategic thinking. I don't follow hot takes. So all these people that have hot takes up and down. Me, I don't have any takes left. Yeah, I don't understand takes and hot takes and all that language. It's too much for me. So I think we don't have character in Nigeria, which is why we act the way we do. Thank you very much, Uju. I think I'm taking too long to answer questions. I'll be reducing my time speaking with things. This is some time. It's 6:30. So can we skip through the questions? Jessica, are you there?
Yes, it is. There's a question in the chat. It says, can we advocate to add civic education and orientation into our educational program system to assist this program for the future reasons? Because the work is too enormous for the college alone to do.
Yeah, the college has been on the forefront of, we're even trying to start electoral college clubs in secondary schools. We're doing quite a lot of work. We've tried to advocate that. The Minister of Education is still pending. While it's pending, there's so much work that we cannot follow. We cannot leave our conversations to him alone. And we're doing quite a lot of work in that matter. Yeah, we're expecting a lot of people to catch along, and that's what your physical projects are about: how to transmit the information somewhere else. I'll take the next question, Jessica. We'll go quickly.
Okay.
Let me answer. Ojo made a comment and said teachers are biased.
Yeah.
I've been to a secondary school and I was speaking and their government teacher was arguing with me that there are 100 and something political parties in Nigeria. And then he called Nigeria a failed state. I defined a failed state. Thank God I had a projector. I defined a failed state. And I brought out how many political parties there were. And the guy, in short, he ended up embarrassing himself in front of his students because students were laughing at him. This is their government teacher in his school. You don't want to know the amount of political literacy that is being sold in Nigeria. Which is for me, it's the biggest cancer we have. Well, we can continue. Next question, Jessica. Let's go. Let's keep this rolling. I was just talking.
Okay. How can we as citizens assist the federal government in her efforts to strengthen the local government system? Presently, the governors are usurping the lacunas in the constitution to stifle the operations of the local government system. Some states like Abia and Anambra has created laws using their state assembly to still continue to control the resources accrued to the local government from the federal.
You know, anytime I think of Soludo, he's a joker. He's so much of a technocrat and knows nothing. No law within a state can supersede the constitution. So if it happens, it's because the local government chairman allowed it to happen. It's not because Soludo made a law. No law can supersede the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So for me, I blame the people there. And for me, I've done so much work in local government, so much work, that I think I should even relax. If not be only me in Nigeria now, there are 199 million, a lot, whatever the number is, more than I've given quite a lot to that. Jessica, let's keep it rolling. Next question.
Okay,
Let's keep it rolling.
this one
Keep it
says we have
rolling.
a case of State House of Assembly suspending a local government chairman. Do the House of Assembly possess such powers, or are they overdoing it?
Now, this is a very tough question to answer, because it will mean that the state assembly has usurped the powers of the councillors. So, dependent, if it is I believe there are jurisdictions to this thing. If it was a state offense, not because somebody wants to become governor, etc., or any other thing. So, if it was a state offense, I think the state assembly has jurisdiction. But if it was a local offense, that means the state usurping the local government's, the councillor's power. I think that's the best way to answer that question.
Okay. The next one says, how do we encourage more people to get involved in party politics?
Well, that's what I've been trying to do. If you have a faster way, please help me. I will take it. It's quite an uphill journey. It's quite stress. It's quite mentally derailing, and I'm trying.
Okay. Okay. Damola, we'll take the hands raised now. Damola, if you're there, Oloni Showon, Damola. Are you
There's
there?
one
Okay.
There's one Adedokun. Okay, go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. I told you I've not been knighted by the King of England, Sha. This sir is too much.
Thanks for the opportunity, and we do really appreciate that case of. I just want to speak on that case of Ocean State election, local government election. I think there was a Supreme Court judgment on that election that sacked the former elected local government chairman. That was what brought about the new election that was done yesterday. So I don't think the governor has done out of the law of the land according to the constitution. So that's one. Another one I want to say is that I don't know. I just want to persuade the executive director if we can have a physical classes of this in across the states. I don't know if that will be possible.
Do you know how much that will cost?
Like we can partner with youth bodies across.
We've tried. Trust me, it's highly expensive. I know. Doing at this for 5 years, highly capital intensive. Highly capital intensive. And people don't yet twist towards the need. As regards Oshun, I don't think it's a Supreme Court judgment. It's an appeal court judgment. I'm not sure, but I'll check. But I believe it's an appeal court judgment, and I believe the case, even right now, is up to the Supreme Court. But we'll have the conversation. I'll check my facts. I don't think it's a Supreme Court judgment. Because with a Supreme Court judgment, it will not even be an argument.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Thank you, Damola. Thank you, Edie. Next, we'll call on Adedokun Praise Abiodun. Please make your question brief. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. I have quite a number of thank you so much for the good job you've been doing. I think the last yesterday and today has been quite etc. I've learned a lot. And I also want, before I ask my question, I want to encourage, I love what you did at is it just now? I think I saw that on the on one of the platforms. What you did, I think that's very, very good. If more schools can be reached, because many of the problems that we are highlighting here, I perceive some of the persons that are speaking from mainstream politics. Many of those things are actually replicated even in student governance. You
That's
have
usually.
people in legislative. I used to serve as a senate president for my faculty. And it's funny that many people come for meetings and they are not even aware of what is inside the constitution guiding the student association. So you saying these things now, just I think I would love to encourage the kind of things that what you did at JOS, if that can also be replicated in other schools. So now to my question, I want to ask that what is or how do I know? Because I want to learn the distinct function of the federal, state, and local government executives. What's their limits? Is that, and that's one. And I'm also looking at the fact that there seems to be a replication of some of these things. How do they depend? For instance, there is Ministry of Education, there is at the top, there is also something like that at the state level, and there's also something like that at local government. So what differentiates these ministries and is it commission now at each level? I mean, the jurisdiction of each executive. That's one. And the second one is that how are the salaries of the appointed officers, such as the senator PA, funded? I used to think if they say a senator is collecting something million, that million includes what he will be paying people managing his office, his PA, his secretary, people helping him with research and all of that. I want you to, is it clarify my thoughts on that? That's the second question. And the third question is,
Wait, I'm getting lost. Your
okay,
first question, governance is a continuum. When you have
okay,
a federal ministry, you have a state ministry. The state ministry are just according to the programs of the federal ministry. We are from a big country. So it adjusts to the state, how that ministry operates. Local governments that cascades down. Do you understand? Adjusts the language down to, or adjust whatever orders come from the federal down to what. So it's
okay,
necessary. Secondly, the Constitution stipulates that every senator or House of Reps should have 5 people whose allowances are provided for. The rest are their appoint, side chicks, etc., whatever. That one, I don't know how their salaries come. I know it comes from the National Assembly, allegedly. I will not be the one that said it. Allegedly, which is why they do that. So your third question.
okay. The third is like the second that is there a limitation to number of staff that can work with a particular executive office? For instance, the governor's office itself, is there a limitation to it? And then what's the rationale behind creating portfolios for staff that work with them? Is there
So
anything
there's no
guiding it?
rationale.
Or
No. So that is a flaw from what they call it from the legislature or state house of assembly. There should be laws guiding that, but we don't have them, and that's because some people are trying to do Feladi, some people are trying to etc. Funny things.
okay. And then I want to also ask concerning the concept of executive order. Or does that mean, because if it's a, I don't know, it's confusing to me. If it's a democratic system, why is an executive imposing? I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Kind of saying this has to be from a governor or say a president. The concept
Let
of
me tell you something. The Congress has the right to upturn an executive order. It is their choice to or not to. It is allowed to or not to. Everybody's complaining about class time. I'm not the one dictating the questions. Oh, it's everybody's asking me questions and I'm answering. So everybody should chill, eh? It's not me. My job is to answer to the questions, yeah.
Okay. We'll take Abubakar Musa Sadiq next. Abubakar, are you speaking?
Let Christopher go ahead. Christopher, his hand up.
Christopher. Okay.
I can't see his hand though.
No, I'm not seeing the Christopher. His hand is not up. Christopher, please raise your hand. Or we'll go with Musa or Mika.
No, go with this person. Sophist political. I want to hear what the person has to say.
Okay, sophist political.
Because number one, the name is wrong. So I don't know whether the person registered with Sophist political, but let's hear what Sophist political wants to say.
Sophist, are you speaking? Okay.
You know what? I'll
can't
take
hear
two
him.
more questions. Okay. You can't hear him. Is it him or her?
We don't know. We can't hear them.
Okay, I can't hear them.
Hello, it's Miss Office. I'm trying to meet my match.
Okay.
Good evening,
Okay.
sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. You know
Sorry
that the
for
attendance will
one thing.
count against you because of this your name. And we
I'm very
both know
sorry, sir.
it.
I'm very sorry, sir. It was my email I used. That was why. It was my email automatically glued to my Zoom.
You
So that
can
was.
change your Zoom name. You can change your Zoom name, Jenny. You can change it
I
even
didn't
now.
know. I didn't know. I will do that, sir. I will do that, sir.
Okay.
I didn't know. I'm very sorry for that. Meanwhile, let me quickly appreciate you for listening so far. I've been following and I've gained a lot of new knowledge. But I want to quickly ask, so far so good. You have said a lot of things. Well, my major concerns are the youth, Nigeria youth. My major concerns is about the youth. So I want to ask, what role will the youth play in all of this to achieve an Eldorado political feed for everybody, so that the man of nobody can become somebody in society. Because if you look at our political space, it's just like recycling. So that's the question that I want to ask. Thank you, sir.
Well, I cannot answer what they should do exactly. I can just tell you that because they do nothing, we're in the position we're in. And I will clearly state that we all want so much from government and what people in government are doing. And we want to see a familiar situation. We, the thing is that leadership is part of the culture of a people. So let me explain. If you are saying that you want a billionaire to marry your sister so that your family will have money, you will never be able to understand the concept that it doesn't mean the richest person should be president. And that's the truth about it. It comes down to how we think about things ourselves, how we perceive things. Now, you feel that if somebody's running for president, the person should give your village leader a car, should do this one. That's the problem. So I don't know how, but I think by educating, we might be able to change these narratives And that's what I feel should be done. I can't say I know everything. I don't. Jessica, allow
Okay.
Christopher talk.
Lastly,
Well,
okay,
allow
Christopher.
Christopher.
All right.
I'll take who was the last person you wanted to
Christopher
pick.
is your phone. Okay, sir. Okay.
After Christopher, I'll take one more.
Okay.
Christopher, go ahead.
Hello.
Christopher, you can
Christopher
unmute.
is your
Good
phone.
day,
Yeah.
Christopher.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Lawyer.
Good evening to everyone and host and ED. Thank you so much for the opportunity. And my question, we have discussed so much today. I'm of the opinion of areas of recommendation and a kind of solution to these issues. So my question is, what can Nigerians do differently to hold this executive accountable, both in federal, state, and local government level? Because I had an experience while I was in 100 level in the university. I went to my local government chairman, to inquire about how and the allocations being given to my local government. And that was 6 years ago. And he told me that it was 120 million. And the state governor gives him 20 million out of the total. And it's just for his fueling of his car and just for his own gallivanting. And that he promised that the local government workers and every infrastructure that should be conducted in the local government will be done by him. That is the governor. So now I think we have high rate of data and statistics problem in Nigeria. So that connects to my question: what Nigerian citizens or Nigerians can do differently to hold this executive, both in federal, state, and LGA, accountable, and how we can know, like when we talk about the fact allocation, how we can be able to know what is being allocated to each local government in the state. Yeah, thank you.
Christopher, first and foremost, Christopher, stay on the call, please. Stay on the listen. Christopher, first and foremost,
Okay.
if you Google the fact allocation for your this thing, you will see it. Secondly, Christopher, you know that the local government chairman does not have immunity. You can carry him to court. You can carry him to court, and if he's found guilty, you enter jail. Is it that people don't know that? Oh, because you call them honorable, you think they have the same immunity that president and governor have? They don't. Local government, nobody in local government has immunity. I'm surprised this class will tell me they do not know. They don't have immunity now. They don't. So it's okay. Let him leave the money with the governor. You sue the monkey to court. If he can't, he's found guilty, he'll go to jail. Let me see. After he goes to jail, let's see who else will give their money to this thing. But the electoral college can't do that because we're an organization. But if somebody wants to do that, trust me, we'll teach you how to do. We'll show you the ropes on how to do it. You know?
Okay, sir.
Excuse me. They don't have immunity, and you're a lawyer. You should know that one now.
All
You're
right.
laughing.
Thank you. No, I'm actually a political commentator, so I'm not a lawyer.
With this your picture, is it me that is seeing the wrong picture here with this thing on your...
That was when I was the chief judge back then in the university.
Oh, okay. No problem.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
You have succeeded. Wait, you people have succeeded in allowing me discuss local government, which we weren't even so. You people have taken me everywhere in this whole course. People want to drain everything out of me. You guys, slow down. You all still have 27 more modules. 26 more modules. You still meet me 5 more times after today. So, and we'll be discussing different things on Constitution, the Electoral Act, etc. So, why are you putting in a rush? Calm down. The knowledge fully plenty. And you'll be receiving your first assignments today. I'll put it on general group and I'll ask the manager of cohorts to send those assignments across board. So your first assignments will happen today. I demand some submission of those assignments by 12 p.m. Thursday. So your first assignments, don't worry, the assignments are not individual. They are for you guys as a party. You have to start to cohesively approach things. Wait, come. They will be shouting women are not being allowed, women. Okay, we've had a woman, one. Okay, let me be fair. We've had a woman, one. Where are the rest? Unmute, let me unmute Gloria. But
Okay.
I don't know whether it's suit I'm following.
Hello, good evening.
No, I'm
It's Ija, actually.
good day.
Hello?
Hello, good day, we can hear you.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Good evening. Thank you very much for this impactful and interactive class. It has been very enlightening so far since yesterday. So I quickly want to ask a question regarding this. You mentioned in the course of your teaching regarding the state media and the broadcast for campaigns and the like. So after politics, because I always lecture people about this politics and governance separation, but people seem to call everything politics. But I've deemed it fit to lecture people all around that say, look, the moment your governor has been sworn in, politics are ended. He needs to face governance and public administration squarely. So now this flag of a thing, like you having your party flag in your office or your vehicles or your official vehicles now, is it constitutional right? That's number one. Then regarding this debate of a thing, when we have presidential election, this general election, we always have debate for the governors, for the president. How can we do it that we have it to come to pipe low down to the levels of during local government elections for this chairman and these councillors? So that's
I assure you that the electoral college will be starting with Lagos and Abuja with local government election. This will be projected on radio. We will be starting that. As regards the constitution does not back any party flag or nonsense being adorned by this thing, and especially during campaigns. You do the Electoral Act. I'll show you some things. Maybe you would understand where the problems in Nigeria actually emanate from, but you do the Electoral Act and we'll get there. So just wait for us to get there.
All right, thank you, sir.
Okay then.
I think we have a female here. She has identified
I've
herself.
already asked her to
finally.
unmute.
Okay. It's Nolua.
All right. Thank you, Edie. Thank you for the session. That was quite insightful. Okay, so my question would be from the aspect of policy, because during your session, you did made mention that the executive are responsible for creating policies. So my question would be that in terms of policy, how do the citizens get involved? How would the youth get involved in policy creation to ensure that the executive are creating policies for the common good? And how do we hold them accountable for the implementation of those policies?
Now, policies, it's a very good question. And policies are normally from, appointees of the executive. So, like, we currently have Bosun Tijani, who's an appointed executive. We're championing AI and its use in this thing. So conversations with Bosun Tijani or with any channel that allows for that would allow you to be able to put in such policies, especially I'm just using his own and his AI policy on a market to be able to discuss how the government should approve or approach or etc. And so with every other, depending on what part of policy you're planning to face. Let's also remember that policy is wide. There's health, there's within health, broken down, more mother, child, male health, etc. Do you understand? It's a wide range. So it depends on how you want to approach it and who you'll be approaching to channel through. So you can go through that way. And then when the policy is finally formulated, you can hold them accountable by paying attention to how much money is being given for the project, what kind of upturns at all project stages, where they are they where they're supposed to be, etc. it's all tedious work if you pick one of the topics. I'll tell you that. But it's not impossible. And I think we are a little lackadaisical in Nigeria with, the kind of policies. We're going to bring in what they call it, cars, CD, whatever cars. And next thing everybody say, one exploded in Edo, one this, that. And nobody cares on how the implementation is, whether the CD is better than fuel, whether it's better use. Nobody's really looking into those things. So I think there are conversations we're supposed to keep on having to improve our democracy and, ways to approach these policies and how to do it. I think that we need to continue. You have a topic that is policies in this cohort. Do you understand? So you discuss policy formulation, etc., how policies are made, and whatever. It's no idea.
I think she was gone.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. That's very clear. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Itunu. So I'll take one last question and we'll call it a day. People have kept me here talking 2 hours. And you people should know I'm very, very unhappy right now. Not because of the college. Liverpool is winning Man City 2-0. I don't understand. How else now I want to climb this table now?
Sorry.
Anyway, I'm watching it by my side. I don't want to show you guys, but TV is also by my side. I've been vexing and looking at it. The best. I can't believe I'm supporting Man to do something. I don't want us now to carry something. You guys.
Okay. We'll take Musa or Mika.
Tell Madaki that he thinks that we didn't see his laugh in this class. Don't worry. I know where I'll catch him. Madaki, I saw your laugh, so don't think I didn't see it.
Musa, are you there?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I would like to thank you for the opportunity to learn one or two things from here. I think we have a long way to go. My question is, so most of the question has been asked. So my own contribution now is, so I will start to educate my younger ones so that they will be able to start learning things on time. Because I have this kind of opportunity when I was at it by now. So thank you. Mine is more of thanking you for the opportunity to learn one or two things here. And I'm looking forward to learning more things and implement it as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay. I guess we are done for tonight. Thank you so much, Ibi. Your classes are always so exceptionally interesting. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
considering I'm almost eating alive. Anyway, so you'll receive your assignments tomorrow about before 11 o'clock. I look forward to, we just started the class. Next week will be far more hectic. It's 5 o'clock the same time, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We look forward to your participation. Thank you everyone for being part of this tonight. You guys can allow me go and meet my herbalist so that I'll do something to Man City and they'll win this game 3-2. So I'm going to go and consult with my herbalist. You guys, peace out. Have a lovely evening.
Okay, Idi. Sorry. All right, thank you. Thank you so much, Idi. And thank you to every one of you who made it to class today, and to all of you who participated, and to the one lady who broke the jinx. I hope we will have more female participation next week. Anyway, remember to change your names, please. For those of you that have not gotten the information, change your Zoom name to the name you want to see reflected on your certificate. You can do that by clicking on your name. When you click on your name, as it appears under the participants, you will see an option to rename. So you can just rename. It will not affect your email name, okay? Your email name will still be how you want it, but your Zoom name will change. So please do that before the next class. Let's not be seeing any more Techno and Samsung. Thank you very much. And we will see you in class next week, Friday, please. Classes begin on Friday, 5 p.m. And have a good night, everyone. Thank you.